Hello students, today we're going to talk about reflections. Now reflections is the second translation that we're going to talk about. Last video we talked about translations, and that's just sliding a figure from one place to another. A reflection is a little bit different. A reflection is a mirror image of the figure across a line of reflection. And this year that line of reflection is going to be either the y-axis or the x-axis. That's what we're going to reflect across. Okay? When you reflect an image, the congruency stays the same. Same size, same shape. But the orientation changes. And I'll show you what that means in just a second. Okay? So I've got two figures drawn. I've got a triangle first, and we're going to start with that triangle. Now you don't have to draw the triangle, but it would help if you wrote down the points. And I know they're a little bit hard to see, so I'm going to write them for you as well. We have F is -4, 11. That's supposed to be B. B is -4, 7, and I is -1, 9. Okay? So when we reflect, with this triangle, I'm going to reflect it across the y-axis, which is here. And when I reflect it across the y-axis, it becomes a mirror image. So one of the things that I can do is I can count how far away from the y-axis it is to see where it's supposed to go. So I'm going to start with the I because it's closest. The I is 1 away from the y-axis. So on the other side of the y-axis, it's going to be 1 away. So here is going to be I prime. The F is 1, 2, 3, 4 away. So on the same little line, 1, 2, 3, 4 is where that's going to be, and that's going to be F prime. The B is also 4 away. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where B prime is going to be. And so I can draw that. And now I need to know what and I did it wrong. It's supposed to be right here. So scratch that one off. It's supposed to be here. Oops. Sorry about that. So now I need to label the points. So this I is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I is 1, 9. I'll write it over here in just a second. F is 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11. 4, 11. And B prime is 4, 7. So I'll write them here. F prime is 4, 11. B prime is 4, 7, and I prime is 1, 9. Now let's look at the difference between the original and the new points. The original point was -4, 11. The new point is 4, 11. What changed? Yeah, the x value changed. The old B was -4, 7, and the new B is just 4, 7. The x changed. And the original I is -1, 9. The new I prime, is 1, 9. So in all of these, when I reflected across the y-axis, the only thing that changed was the x value, and it just became the opposite. So the algebraic representation for a reflection, I'll write in pink, is x, y to the negative or the opposite of the x, y. And that is when you, for a reflection across y-axis. So when we reflect across the y-axis, our algebraic representation is xy, -x, or the opposite of x, y. So now let's look at the upside down T, okay? I have way too many points on that, so I'm just going to do a couple. I'm going to do all the points, but we'll just label 2 or 3 of them, okay? So this time with this upside down T, I'm going to reflect it across the x-axis, okay? So that'll be my line of reflection, and just like I did before, I'm going to count how far away is it from the x-axis, and then that's where I'm going to put it on the other side, okay? So we'll start with the I. I is 1 away, so I'm going to go 1 away, and that's going to be I prime. and then we'll go over here to O. It's 1 away, so that's going to be O prime. And N is going to be right here, and that's going to be N prime. And then H is going to be right here, and that's going to be H prime. And then we have S prime is 2 away, so it's going to go right here. And then C prime is going to be right here. And then M prime is going to be way down here. And R prime will be right there. So I will draw and we'll label this R prime. And this one is going to be M prime. We'll just do those for right now, okay? So my original I was 6, 1. Well, my I prime is 6, -1. Well, my original O was 9, 1. Well, my O prime is 9, -1. N prime was 6, 2. Sorry, N original was 6, 2. N prime is 6, -2. M prime was originally 7, 4. Sorry, M originally was 7, 4. M prime is 7, -4. So do you see what's going on now when I cross or use the x-axis as my line of reflection? What changes? Yeah, the y value. The x value stays the same, the y value changes. So for a reflection across the x-axis, my algebraic representation is x, y, arrow, x, the opposite, or -y. Again, it's really important to learn and know these algebraic representations. We've learned 2 already, one for dilations, one for translations. Now we have 2 more because we have 2 different ones for reflections. We got to keep those in our head. So when you look at a algebraic representation, you'll be able to say, oh yeah, that's a, and you'll be able to fill in the blank for what it is. Okay? Another way you might see this is, you might be given an algebraic expression and an original point, A, and asked to find A prime. So it says if x, y, arrow, -x, y is my algebraic representation, and A is 3, 4, find A prime. Well, I can look at this and I say, well, we went from xy to the opposite of xy. I must be reflecting across the y-axis. It's great. So then what is my A prime? I just follow the rules. I take x and I take the opposite of x. The opposite of 3 is -3. So A prime is -3. Y stays the same. So that's my A prime. I just followed the pattern of the algebraic representation. The only thing that changed was the x, so I do the opposite of x. There we go. What if B was -4, 7? And I need to find B prime with the same algebraic representation. Then I do exactly the same thing. X is -4. I need the negative of -4, or the opposite of -4. So that means B prime would be +4. 7 doesn't change. And so there's B prime. So you can look at that as a negative, or you can say it as the opposite. Here's your practice problem for this video. If 2 points are reflected across the x-axis, find their new points. The first point is f, -1, -3. What would f prime be? Second point is g, 2, -5. What would g prime be? Remember, we're reflecting across the x-axis. Remember what the algebraic representation is for that. And then tell me what the new points are. Take a picture and submit it through Edmodo.